Welcome to Literacy Home Learning. This is a literacy unit appropriate for children learning from home during this extended school closure. It is designed to provide learning opportunities for primary-aged children and will help develop their ability within the national curriculum. This is lesson number 7 in the series. Please listen along, pause the video when necessary, and be sure to listen out for the task appropriate for your age and ability. To be prepared for today's lesson, make sure you have something to write with and your home learning book. Follow along with the video and be sure to pause when you have been given a task to complete. You will know when to pause when you see the symbol in the bottom corner of the screen. Today's learning objective is to be able to plan a descriptive story opening. By the end of this unit, we would like you to plan, write and create your own version of the book, Leon and the Place Between. Your story will be an alternate version of the book with your own drawings. Time for a quick task. With your home teacher, discuss the main events of the beginning of the story. Remember to make notes in your home learning book. So here's what happens at the beginning of the story. Leon and his family enter the tent. They sit down, the jugglers come on stage, and the carousel appears. Time for your next quick task. With your home teacher, discuss how you could change some of these details so that the story is different. We would like the story to have a similar journey, but for you to make some key changes. Remember to make notes in your home learning book. So what changes did you decide to make? Maybe, instead of jugglers, what other performers could you include? Or, instead of a carousel, what else could appear? Key stage 1. When thinking about planning your story opening, here's what needs to be in the story. You need to introduce the main character and describe the setting. They must arrive at the circus and sit down in the tent. You must have Act 1 and Act 2. You might want to think about changing the performers, the characters, or the setting. Now it's time for the main task of the lesson. Key stage 1, here's your main task. In your home learning book, plan a story opening using a comic strip to draw the main events of your new story opening. Under each drawing, you must explain briefly what is happening. Remember to make changes to the original story to make your own new version. Key stage 2, here's what needs to be in your story opening. You need to introduce the main characters and setting. You need to think about where they are going. You need to think about how they feel before the show begins. You need to plan Act 1. You need to plan how they feel about the first act, then Act 2, and how they feel about this act. Time for the main task of the lesson. Year 3 and 4, here's your main task. In your home learning book, plan a story opening using a comic strip to draw the main events of your new story opening. Under each drawing, you must explain briefly what is happening and how the characters feel. Remember to make changes to the original story to make your own alternate version. Year 5 and 6, here's your main task. In your home learning books, plan a story opening using a comic strip to draw the main events of your new story opening. Under each drawing, you must explain briefly what is happening and how the characters feel. Once you have completed your comic strip, we would like you to create different word banks to describe the setting and how the characters feel. Remember to make changes to the original story to make your own alternate version. So how do you think you've done? Time to share your work with your home teacher, but before you do this, remember to check your work for spelling mistakes and punctuation mistakes. Well done everybody, that's the end of the lesson. Thank you for joining us today, and be sure to join us again in the next lesson to continue planning and writing our story.